Today I'm going to show you how to make these lovely paper ornaments. Here is a list of all the supplies you'll need. Using this coffee cup and a pencil, I'm just going to trace a circle around on my paper, and then I'm going to cut it out. I can cut out many at once. Alright, so I've got about 5 sheets of paper here, and I'm cutting out 5 circles in this sheet. I could probably get about 3 more circles out of this whole piece of white paper. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is find the center. So to find the center of the circle, I'm going to find out how wide it is, and it's 4 inches. So I'm just going to make a little line here at 2 inches in the middle, and then I'm going to turn the paper another way, and I'll make another line at 2 inches in the middle, and where the X meets, that's the center. So I can just press really hard, like this, to score the center so I can see it through on more than one piece of paper. Now that we have our center, we just have to make 8 lines that kind of space out equally. So I'm going to put my ruler right through the center, and I'm going to draw a line in until about a ½ inch from the center, and draw another line on this side, and then I'll go to the other side, making it look like an equal quarter size wedge, and draw a line in towards the middle. Then I'll turn it again and make my pie into 8ths, and I'll draw a line in and on the other side and twist it again till I have all of the 8 pieces of the pie marked. So what I'll do now is I'll use these lines to cut through all of these layers of paper to create wedges. Okay, so I've got my papers here with the lines all made, and then I'm just going to cut along, being careful, of course, not to go all the way into the middle, because I want to be able to thread a needle through this. So now that I've got all my wedges cut on a fresh piece of paper, on one of the ones from the layer, I can still see the center dot. You probably can't, but it's there. What I'll do is I'll place my skewer in a corner and start to roll one of points. I'll roll it around and continue rolling until it makes a nice, elegant point. Alright, so here's the tricky part. The tricky part is getting it to roll. You want to put your skewer on a little bit of an angle on the corner of one of these wedges. And then it helps if your fingers are a little bit wet, but you basically just start to roll it over the tip of the skewer and continue rolling until it gets to the other side of the wedge, and your whole circle will roll with it. Then you can take the skewer out and just roll it tight and let go. Okay, and so now I'll do another one. Starting on the tip, start to roll it, work it in a little bit, and we'll back it up, keep rolling it until it starts to go over. Sometimes you have to help it a little bit in the middle. Doesn't quite want to go. And then keep rolling until the other side of the wedge rolls over. Take out the skewer and move to the next one. I'll do this one a little more slowly. So I'm denting it a little bit in my finger there. That helps to get it started. And then I'm pulling it with my thumb to roll it. And then as I roll it, I'm using my finger to push, and at the same time letting the paper twist over as I go. And I can remove the skewer, and I've only got one left. Here's the last one, denting it with my finger, pulling it with my thumb, getting it started, letting the whole paper twist over, continuing the twist, working it in a little bit, and removing the skewer. So now you have a completed circle. So first what I've done is I've threaded a needle, and at the end of the thread I've tied a knot, and then I've pierced a small piece of elastic band at the end of the knot. So I've got 10 of these circles all created into spike balls, and I've piled them into 2 piles of 5 each. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to thread it onto my needle upside down so that the curls are pointing to the bottom. And so it's helpful for me to know where the centers are on all of these, so I can just go through the hole where the center is. And I'm going to pull this through now so that my elastic is grabbing in the middle. So I've got my second pile of spike balls, and these ones I'm going to turn upside down, and I'm going to thread them through here. I guess they're not so much upside down anymore. I'm threading them through from the bottom with the curls on top this time, all through all 5, and then I'll pull my needle through and bring this down to land on my others. Now before things get out of control, I just want to put those centers together and then pull a little bit tight on my thread. So I've got my little spike ball pile here, and to start the last step I'm going to take another small piece of elastic and I'm going to put that on my thread and bring it down to the top of the pile, and then I'm going to pull the thread tight, and I'm going to use a skewer or something else to help push this through and tighten the thread. And as I do, this elastic is going to hold my thread in place, causing the spike ball to puff out into a big shape. Now those elastics won't stop me from making another knot necessarily, and then I can just adjust these so that they fall into a pretty design. So now to really tighten it, we're just going to continue to pull the thread through and push the elastic deeper into the center of our ball. It's a little awkward because you're pulling thread at the same time as trying to push an elastic. You can use your hands up to a point, but then this side looks great, and we want to try to bury this little end deeply in to the ball by pressing the elastic deep in and pulling with your string. Sometimes it works to use a fork, a very tiny fork. Alright, so now what we do is we just tie off our string, and we've got a Christmas ornament.